the movie and the story, like it's all a vehicle for Marcos Aurora to just kick ass, right? Mm-hmm. So him being the star, him being the fight coordinator. Will, what did you think of the action?
As harsh as I am about it, that also sounds like I'm going to say something really positive. I'm not. I will say it's not terrible. It's not memorable.
That's kind of the problem, right? It's not memorable. And I was until the end, maybe.
Yes.
But so before we get to the end, because there is a decent fight at the end. So, but everything before that, it's weird because I remember watching it and I remember thinking, why is none of this sticking with me?
Yeah.
I don't understand, because if you look at it, there's a lot of long takes of Marcos Aurora beating up guys, and it's clearly composed, and he's doing really decent choreography to dispatch of these people, but none of it registered as interesting or noteworthy for me for some reason.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out, I was like, why don't I like this? Like what is wrong with it? And I think I figured it out.
Okay. What's your guess?
So I noticed lots of long takes. Long takes.
For sure.
And then I realized that all they're constantly doing is orbiting the camera around Marcos Aurora and all the extras. And I realized that we're not getting any shot composition or blocking. We're not maximizing camera angles to, enhance certain movements or show certain hits or blows that are being absorbed by these people. It's Marcos Aurora fighting for a long time, and he's doing like a lot of the heavy lifting for us. But it's just nothing but these long takes. And so the problem that's happening is because it's constantly orbiting, all the fights look the same because it's all the camera just orbiting around him and lots of fighters. And I was like, shit, I think that's what it is. I don't I remember the first fight.
Yeah, but when he's beating up a bunch of dudes.
Because they're cutting to different angles. They're cutting to different stuff. I was like, okay, I kind of like some of this stuff. And then all the other stuff was actually a little more complicated, but I can't remember it because it looks the same as every other fight.
Yeah, visually speaking, right?
Yeah.
And I think the first fight, I did appreciate a little bit more. I think more for the setup, right? Like the idea is like he's drugged, so he's like kind of in and out of being, conscious during the fight.
Yeah.
So like in terms of like intensity, in terms of like stakes, and just being overall interesting, I think for telling a story in an action scene, like this makes sense. Like why it keeps my engagement. I don't know. The rest of the movie, it kind of teeters back and forth with like Marcos Aurora being a badass and also not at the same time, right? It feels like kind of inconsistent.
I'm okay with that. I don't want him to be indestructible.
Oh yeah,
because he's not indestructible. He takes his licks, but he's always persevering in the name of love.
Oh yeah, God.
You can trust me. Everything is gonna be okay. Calm down.
I think another big portion of why I didn't necessarily find it very memorable is because, like, you're right. It really is Marcos Aurora doing the heavy lifting, because there's only one other martial artist in the movie that like really stands out. I mean, you need your stunt doubles, or you need your stuntmen, and you need your extras to be in there to make the martial artists look better, right? You need them to be able to take the falls, take the hits, sell to the audience that this guy's an awesome fighter. I don't know. Maybe it was all the extras that like didn't do enough for me.
Well, they're mainly fodder. They don't really put up too much of a fight. They kind of just keep on funneling into him, and he keeps on dispatching them pretty easily, which is okay. That happens a lot. But you're right. Like if they're not putting up a fight, then he's just kind of taking care of them with ease.
Yeah, everyone's a Goomba. I used to say that in the show. It's like everyone's a Goomba. You just stomp on their heads and they die, right? And it's not until Brahim Schaub shows up. Brahim Schaub, who I haven't seen in anything in a long time, actually.
I think he's more behind the scenes.
Yeah,
kind of a guy.
Choreographing now, right?
Yeah, but I was really happy to see him in this, because when you see him, I was like, oh shit, he's the mini boss.
Yeah.
He
He kicks Marco's ass like twice in the movie before we have our final fight. Final like the setup for the final fight with them is like that's kind of lame because like he technically bested him twice, and the only reason why Marco isn't allowed to give a final shot is because Brahim Shab wasn't allowed to, because the true villain's too busy monologuing, and that's the only reason why Marco won, right? That's the way I interpreted it, which is lame. Like I thought it was like that's not really satisfying. But I will say, along all this to say that the final fight between them, I thought was pretty good. Like it's not great, but I thought like for everything we sat through, I actually really did like this final fight.
It's the best out of the whole movie, and it's weird because I complained earlier about the orbiting camera and the longer takes. This is still doing that for the first. So this fight is comprised into 3 parts. So there's one part of the fight scene, there's a second part of the fight scene, and there's a third part when Marco obviously prevails. But the first 2 parts of the fight scene, it is orbiting camera. But it is much more interesting choreography, much more complex choreography. And it's kind of crazy how fast they are and how much groundwork they're kind of incorporating as well. Like they start with a stand-up game, and then they go to the ground game. And it's funny, there's some decent stuff going on in the ground, but then there's moments where I'm like, I don't know if that made sense how he got out of that, because he just kind of gets up and I'm like, wait, weren't you getting held? Like, how did that work?
Yeah.
But it's okay. You kind of just have to go with it at that point.
Like as a grappler myself, I'm like, as I was watching, I'm like, that's fine. That doesn't make sense, but it's fine. Whatever.
It flows because there's nonstop momentum with the fight. But the way how he gets out of stuff, sometimes you're just like, I don't know if that really works. But fine. It's fine. But it's
sure.
fine.
If you can see that, then like, as an untrained person, like you like if
it stood out, if it stood out for me, like I feel like it would probably stand out for like other people as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love that Brahim Shab, like at a certain point, he's just like on the floor butt scooting, like egging him on, and then Marco's like, "No, get the fuck up."
Exactly. I wonder if that was actually like a commentary on actual fighting. He's like, no, we're not going to the ground. You get up over here.
Yeah, I love that. But I love how they end the fight scene. I don't know if I want to jump all the way to the end, but I love it because like, what is it? Brahim Shab like does some sort of low attack. So
he trips Marco Zaror, yeah,
but he trips him, and then Marco does like a corkscrew, and but then you don't see the shot, but he just in the next edits in the next shot, Marco Zaror lands behind Brahim Shab, and he like puts him immediately in a choke. I'm like, no, that is so stupid.
I loved it. It was so teleported. Stupid. Yeah, it was great.
It's so dumb. And then
it works. It works because of the magic of editing.
Yeah,
but in reality,
no, it doesn't work.
In reality, it's so stupid. But I mean, I kind of, it's a shame. Like if the movie was goofier, I think like that would have been a perfect pass. But the movie's so dour and it's so serious. So when you see him getting tripped, flip, and then land on the guy's back, it doesn't work.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, yeah, like the final fight's not so bad.
I would say it's pretty good. Like fight choreography wise, there's lots of great stuff going on there. I think my complaints are just what it is.
Everything else.
Everything. It all looks the same. Like I'll put up other rotating cameras from each to fight, and it's like, how do you tell the difference between the choreography when it's just all the same, when it's all shot the same, which kind of sucks. Thankfully, the choreography in the last fight is pretty complex, so it's going to stand out for most people. I think, you and I just look at this stuff so much. For some reason, everything earlier, like my eyes just kind of glazed over when I saw it, and then I realized I think I know what's happening. I think it's because of the decision to over orbit the camera. Yeah,
it helps to have 2 skilled martial artists on screen, doing their thing. So like it keeps my interest.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, like, I mean, I was gonna say for the rest of the action, but really the rest of the movie, and it just kind of harkens to my whole review for this. I don't recommend the movie. It's like the action. There's definitely not the story. The acting is just actually straight up bad. Like this is probably some of the worst acting I've seen in a long time. And again, I don't even think it's anyone's fault. I think it's just like a culmination of things. And really bad.
I don't think they were trying to get multiple takes for some of these things. They're just like,
oh my God,
we got it.
Because maybe I can tell you a story about your father died in my fucking arms.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. I don't recommend the movie. I kind of do because I was losing my mind watching it. I was messaging you. That's how bad it was for me. Like, but it was kind of funny. It kind of got so bad it's good at times for me. So maybe, but probably not. It's a shame because like I think if you separate the action, this is something Mark Reservoir can easily put on his reel. Like all the orbiting camera stuff, all the longer takes, and into you seeing his face at the end. It's like, yeah, perfect. Of course, that's going to go on the reel. Like it looks good for him. Yeah. But it's like I mentioned before, it's hard to find some memorable moments in it. Yeah. So yeah, Affinity. I don't have an affinity for this movie.
No, God. Yeah, okay. I think you understand what that word means now.